Hey guys, my name is Piotr and we continue to work on Caine0 miniature from Private Repress today. So I think we'll start with applying a base coat to the face, and then we will probably do the armor, or maybe add some more definition to the Spellstorm pistols. But we will try to do as much as possible today when it comes to this guy. So let's get started. I already have some paint on my wet palette for the face, so let's go. This time we have to be a little more precise when it comes to the parts adjacent to the coat, so that we don't have to really take care of any mistakes when it comes to a finished part of the miniature, because it's always time consuming, and actually it makes me quite angry if I have to paint something once more just because I wasn't careful enough. Okay, so there's an ear actually over here. Okay, so we've got him almost covered, except for a few not so easily accessible parts, but we'll manage as always. So now only here. So, his face is actually the only part where we can see the skin tone, and we will use the skin tone because he has gloves and there are no other parts of his skin visible. So we can actually take the Reikland Fleshshade or the Flesh ink from P3, whatever you prefer, and apply it on the miniature, and while it's going to dry we will take care of something else. Should probably try to do the eyes today, but I don't know if I can manage it on the screen without wasting too much time, because eyes are the worst. Of course, you don't have to paint them, you just can put shade into the eye sockets and it will be fine, since it's only 28mm. But we won't settle for that. We will go further and try to paint them as soon as the ink will dry. I tend to paint the eyes before the first highlight, because then I can correct any mistakes using the base coat with the Bugman's glow that I'm using right now, and then add a little bit of shade or actually highlight the part that I was mistakenly painted. Okay, so with this done, we can move further, and we'll paint the blue armor plates on this miniature using Cygnar blue base from P3. I really like the P3 paints. Their range is maybe not as big as the one from Citadel, but I believe that their quality is much better and the paint flows actually. Sometimes I laugh, you don't even need a retarder to make the paint flow really well, and they are really good for using with an airbrush. Okay, so we got the paint. That's usually more than we need, but this is what we do. We waste resources. Alright, so we're going to apply the blue this plate and on this plate, and probably here and here, or maybe just one part of it. Oh, I believe these two parts, this will be covered in blue. There are some insignia on this plate that we are going to paint later. We shall see. Maybe we'll do them yellow, or maybe we'll just go for the gold bronze or something like that. Well, it's Cygnar, so it has to be yellow, yeah. If it's not blue or yellow, then it's heresy. Oh, just kidding, you can paint your army whatever you like. And I'm just showing you how I paint mine. And since most of my army of Cygnar is actually painted in blue, these blue elements will tie the army together. So will the base. Okay, so we have the first armor plate done. Now let's go to the second one. The one with the beloved Cygnus. Oh, damn it. We accidentally hit the code, but we will repair it in a second. We can actually paint the Cygnus with the blue color for now. It's always a bit brighter than the black, so it will be easier to apply the yellow later. Okay, so the second plate is almost done. Just one tiny bit over here. And this way it's easier to access the part of the miniature. So sometimes you just have to take the miniature and toss it around. Okay, with this done, we can continue to work on the plates over here. We'll paint them blue. Why not? It's our vision of Caine, and in my vision he has blue armor plates on his arms. Oops. Okay. this is how it looks now. Alright, and now second hand. There are no painted places over here, so don't worry about making any mistakes. You'll be able to clean them up later. Alright, so here. A little bit here. Okay, and how does it look from this side? Okay, so the armor plates have been done for Caine. As you can see, the one with the Cygnus and the arms, plus this one on the shoulder. Oh, maybe there are some black spots over here, so we can correct them now. And yeah, well, we can actually make some parts over here. We will also paint them blue. I had a plan to paint them with a bronze color, but I believe blue will be just fine. And the second plate. It's more accessible. Second coat. Okay, and we are done when it comes to the plates. I believe the wash is well settled. It doesn't have to be really that dry. However, some people leave it for half an hour, but I believe you do that when you use too much of it and it's pulling in the recesses too much. Okay, so I believe we can take some Drakenhof Nightshade or the blue ink from P3. I have both, but the Nightshade is closer, and we can wash the blue plates so they will get a bit darker, and we will be able to easily pick out the highlighted parts later, leaving a bit of shade in the recesses. It's a lazy way of doing this because you can of course do the two brush blending technique and add some black to the blue and wet blend the parts that you don't think will catch enough light. to make them darker, and then repeat the process for the highlighted parts with lighter tones. But since we are not pro painters over here, we will do it the easy way that anyone can achieve by simply trying. Okay, so we're going to wait for the wash to settle. And we'll try to paint the eye sockets. It's always a daunting process. It takes a lot of time for me, with a few attempts with covering the too much white paint, because it's not simple to actually paint an eye on the miniature. Take a look how this part here is close to the coat. It's really hard to paint it without touching the coat and not making it dirty with white paint. So it will take some time, but with a lot of practice you can achieve it, and we will try to do it as neatly and as fast as possible. So let's take some white paint, shake it up, put it on the palette and try. The problem I find with most white paints, doesn't matter if it's Vallejo or GW, they dry out really quickly, and it's a pain because you have to reanimate them from time to time. There's also a problem with the pigment, I believe, when it comes to the white scar from GW. It gets all grainy really fast, no matter how often you shake it up, not even when you don't paint it. Okay, so let's take some white paint on the brush and try to paint that eye socket. Okay, I already see I have given it too much on this one. But we will clean it up. And now this eye socket, also too much paint, but it doesn't matter. It looks like Venom now, yeah? We'll just take the base color, which is Bugman's Glow, and paint over it. Over the excess of the paint that we did over here. And actually in some parts it will be the first highlight. That we'll be trying to achieve when it comes to the skin tones. Because when I shade something, I usually use the base coat. That was shaded to get the first highlight, so to bring back the original feel of the base coat. So we're almost done with repairing our mistakes. So they look a little bit better now, not so white like the Venom eyes. And now the other hard part. We'll try to paint the eye sockets. The pupils, sorry. And as usual, when it comes to me, we'll use black. For example, Abaddon Black. But you can use any other color that you like, or any other producer, company of paints. So you can use Vallejo Black, no P3 Black. You can even use bronze if you want to have bronze eyes. It all depends on you. Okay, Caine. Too much. So one eye is okay. The second one, we'll have to try once more. Sadly, but don't give up. We will achieve desired effect in no time. Hopefully. Okay. So once again, black color. And yep, we have a nice eye. So we have both eyes painted now. And they look really good. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, probably not. But maybe later on the pictures you will see that the eyes look really good. Okay. So with the eyes done, we can continue to work on the man's face. Using Bugman's glow, we will highlight a little bit of the skin, like the nose, but the parts that are not hidden, the ears, the cheekbones, and here, eyebrows, right, and the other side of his head with the ear. Okay. So now we'll add a little bit of Cadian Fleshtone to the mix. So to make the Bugman's glow a little bit lighter, because we want to have quite a smooth transition from one part of the color to the another one. And it will take a few steps, but it's worth it, in my opinion. Okay, so again, the nose, eyebrows, the ear, and the cheekbone. Now here's the part of the eyebrow. So his face is starting to really pop. It looks better. Okay, so let's add some more Cadian Fleshtone to our previous mix. Stir it up a bit. So I believe it will be something like 1:2 ratio now. And the further you go, the smaller parts you want to highlight, so to say. So don't cover up your whole previous layers. Just parts of them. And here. Alright, and we'll make one final step when it comes to the skin. Pure Cadian Fleshtone highlight. We could go for something even lighter, but I don't believe it's necessary at this stage, and when it comes to what we want to achieve, because we're not painting for any type of a Golden Demon Award or something like that, or a P3 Grandmaster competition. We're just painting miniatures to look nice on the tabletop. And that's it. So I'll spot here, something here, the ear, of course. And the face is finished, as you can see. So I believe that today we will also paint the Western bandana type here with red, as it's on the card, because some people that are following the fluff should know that Caine is a traitor now, according to Bold and Rebald. And he, together with Ryan and Watts are headed off to the Charade Islands to find Caine's daughter that was kidnapped by the Necro. Hopefully I didn't get that wrong. But Caine's still the good guy, just not really following the CRS methods of work. And Black 13th was meant to capture him, or actually kill him, but Lynch, who is dead now, was a smart guy and he knew that something's not right, because he knew Alistair Caine. And he knew that he would not do the things that he was accused of by Bold and Rebold, Scout General Bold and Rebold, from the Cygnar Reconnaissance Service. Okay, so here's the tricky part that you have to watch out, because this bandana is touching the skin. And we don't want to paint over the skin that we have so neatly painted a second ago. So we have to be precise. And take it slowly. We don't have to rush things. And so yeah, almost done. The downside here. Okay. And on the other side, so that we won't have any problems with it while painting the armor. My hands are really shaky today, I don't know why. Okay. I think I missed a spot here. It doesn't look really nice. Okay. So this is base coated. And it's looking nice. It gives a nice contrast to the man's face, actually. Now let's try to highlight it a bit. We'll use the even Sunz Scarlet from GW to make it pop. But first, we will mix it a bit with the Mephiston Red that we have used for the base. Just a tiny bit, and take more, put it already on the palette for the pure highlight later. Okay, so we try to take care of the parts that are not in the shadows. You can make something more or less like a highlight of the edges. But we won't settle with that. We will paint most of the bandana with this color, this mix of the Evil Sense Scarlet. Okay, so it's getting brighter. Then we will take the pure Evil Sense Scarlet and apply it to the bandana. Some parts of it actually, not the whole bandana. And now we'll do the final highlight, an edge highlight actually, of the Wild Rider Red from this little paint range. Maybe a little mix of the Evil Sense Scarlet, just a tiny bit. And we'll take a finer brush, a smaller one. In order to paint it. Alright. So only the edges. Because we want the edges to get the focus of the light. Okay, and so it's done. I don't know if you can see it. Still wet, so the color has not settled yet. You see the guy's face with the eyes and the bandana. So he's starting to look more like a man now, not like a miniature. And yeah, I believe we will end this here today at this point, because there was a lot of detailed brush work we couldn't do anymore, and I don't want to bore you with a too long video when it comes to this kind of painting, because we don't make it faster at any point. It can be daunting to watch more than 45 minutes at one time. However, thanks for watching, and as usual, try to visit www.warroom.pl for great War Machine and Hordes content, and www.malefigurkowo.blogspot.com for some War Machine and Hordes painting. See you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.